Hi everyone, we are HobbyEXP. My name's Harry.
I'm Cheston.
I'm Henry. I thought we were going this way. So when Cheston went, I was like, oh, am I going now?
Sorry.
We'll try that again, everyone.
Do you want to switch it so it's
No.
whites and Asians?
Wait. So Harry to Henry Cheston.
Because he'll circle back against me again.
Yeah.
We had this planned.
I know, and they ruined it.
And we ruined it. We'll try this again.
Right.
So, hi everyone.
We're testing the pause thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I think we keep this in. Why? I think it's a great way to start the channel.
Let's go.
Let's keep it in. All right, so we'll try that again. So we're HobbyEXP. My name's Harry.
I'm two.
My name's Henry.
I'm Cheston.
And yes, we're trying out podcasts for the first time, as you probably can tell. So what are we doing here, guys? Why have we decided to do this? What is HobbyEXP? What's going on?
We all have a lot of hobbies and we're all learning, having fun, and we're trying to gain as much experience as we can and enjoy it with everyone else. We want to share it with you as a community.
Yeah, so pretty much I think Chess and I, we just had this idea because we hang out quite a bit, share our hobbies quite a bit. So we decided, let's see if we can film this. And then I think we got talking about it, and then we introduced Henry into, and they're like, we want to have another go. Yep. And they also share some hobbies with us as well. So we'll probably go through in this video, a few what those hobbies are, have a discussion, and kind of just introduce ourselves to you and everyone else.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's definitely the, late 20s to early 30s man thing to do is to start a podcast about their hobbies.
Definitely is.
Which we are definitely falling victim to. But yeah, as Harry said, we've decided we're going to do this, and I think it's going to be really fun. We all have similar but unique hobbies in a sense. Mm-hmm. A lot around TCGs, miniatures. So that'll be stuff we cover on. I mean, personally, I'm a big One Piece fan, as you can probably tell by my shirt.
Great shirt.
Yes, thank you. And onepiecetcg is kind of something that I've been playing since the get-go, and actually where I met Cheston and Tu. So yeah, keen to share a bit more of that.
Pre-release was such a long time ago.
A very long time ago, yeah. It's like over 2 years now, right?
Yeah, we've had our second anniversary recently, right?
Yeah, second anniversary. Japan's getting their third soon. Yeah, that's actually how me and Cheston came back together.
I've known you for such a long time, but we were obviously friends, but the connecting part was definitely One Piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just such a big IP in both the East and the West. Just anywhere globally. Like you see the Liz collaboration. They were at the Lakers game. Yeah. Then the football match. Was it?
I'm terrible at soccer football. They're a German football club that is black and yellow colours.
Why are you looking at Harry when
he's English, so I was hoping to get some help.
I'm English, I should be into football.
Yeah.
I was a rugby kid growing up. Not that I love it, but I was a rugby kid.
Okay.
So yeah,
I just want to point out.
Bayern Munich.
You said football, not soccer. That's already
football.
Like a step forward.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, I did say football, soccer, so I kind of hedged my bets. But yeah, Bayern Munich, I believe, with the most recent collab with One Piece, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, promo cards. They had a poster. They hold all sorts of merchandise.
T-shirts and all that.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even hear about this. So One Piece, they collabed with the football team.
The football team, mine too.
That's
And when you
BVB.
Yeah, and if you went to the game, you got a specific Luffy leader card with like him in the soccer outfit, everything. Yeah,
he's in the uniform and
That's so sick.
The whole shebang.
Crazy.
Same thing.
No,
with
hang out to the fans. They're like,
Yeah.
here's a scarf and a card, and most of the fans don't even know because most of them are like older people. Like,
But obviously they went straight to eBay.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Lakers one, but that was, I would argue, like probably I would know slightly more about basketball by comparison to football.
Yes, I agree.
But I just thought that would blow up even more.
Yeah. It's a wide world out there for the One Piece kind of with the live action and everything like that. Since it's absolutely insane. I don't know how they've done it. Seeing as it's, I feel like they've really cracked the Western mainstream now with One Piece, whereas obviously it's ginormous in Japan and has been forever. But yeah, in the West, it's really kind of cracked that somehow it's got that like almost algorithm / cultural,
I think we're definitely seeing more of the West influence. Like this recent bands list is more of a testament to that, if anything. So for context sake, the East usually have a meta. After a while, it comes to us because they get the cards before us, right? But now we have a unique situation, which has happened before, right? Where we'll get a unique ban list that's unique to the West, right? And we have to play a whole new way by comparison. You know, the top decks that worked in Japan may or may not work here now. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we've had it a few times. They'll generally, because Japan, the East meta is generally like a set ahead of what we get. There's been a few bans that have kind of impacted the West at the start of our set as opposed to the end in Japan. So we'll have a kind of a fresher meta than what was given in Japan, which is great because usually you have the issue with TCGs where if there is an area that is ahead in the format with their card release and whatnot, the area that is behind
it's already solved.
It's solved.
Solved.
So exactly right.
Digimon
had it. So I arranged at Chestnut Digimon back in 2020 now. So similar thing where Japan was a few sets ahead.
Yeah.
And the issue back then with the early sets was it would come to us when we already know what the meta decks are.
Yeah.
And it was around BT5, BT6 is when I think the West there's Japanese meta came to the West and the West went, hang on a second, this deck is actually just so much better and crushes this one. And I think all the Japanese were kind of like, how the hell do we not see this? But it is also more different with Digimon because Japanese meta is best of 1, Western meta was best of 3. So huge difference in the list. You get Japanese meta, I think lots of one-offs in the deck rather than I think in the West because best of 3 you kind of go for that consistency more.
Actually, how long did it take for Digimon to...
We are literally caught up as of like a month ago.
The funny thing you mentioned that was we met in 2020, right? Obviously, that was during COVID times, right? I remember when you and I met, we were like, why? They were trying to keep us on par with them, and I remembered that the first 3 sets were combined.
Yes, they did. Yeah,
into
so you think it would speed up?
Yeah, and I thought that would be I thought that was a cool new thing because I know Magic, I believe it's using international release. So I thought, this would be cool to have, right? And I thought Bandai were following the same boat, but I guess it took, how many years to reach
5 years.
Yeah,
5 years.
3 years after. It's gonna be about a bit after 3 years.
That was from the announcement, right?
So 2026, it's gonna release at the same time.
Yeah,
and we've got Gundam, which is gonna be simultaneous from the start. It's gonna be pretty cool.
It'd be very interesting. Yeah, I think a lot of the West have been a bit, withheld with the cooking of decks, just because, like as Harry said, it comes to us fairly solved. The biggest example of that was probably OP.05 when they had Sakazuki, where Japan didn't solve that deck to like the end of their format, but we got it like at the start, and it was like obscenely by far the best kind of deck that ever existed. Hence why the leader is now banned. But nowadays, with simultaneous release coming up, which is probably going to be sometime next year, as they said, they haven't just told us when.
April 26.
I think that's I don't think it's confirmed, is it? It might be.
I think it is.
Okay. Which is almost still a year away, right, from now. But a few things they're doing for us this year is actually we're getting, I think, 6 new starter decks for existing leaders with new cards in them that are coming out before they've ever come out in Japan. So
it's almost flipped. That's weird.
It's pretty much flipped. So it's going to be like an additional kind of shake up to our metagame that Japan is never going to see, nor will they probably ever experience because they're already kind of got different cards than us and stuff. So it'd be really interesting to see how it all kind of shakes out and what people come up with.
Maybe this is Bandai's way trying to catch us up, right? Because
I think so.
I think it is, but we don't know what they're going to do with the boosters because there's still going to be a gap of
True.
3 months.
I strongly suspect it'll be something similar to like Digimon, where they either push like 2 sets together, or they speed they give us a set that's like 1.5 months long, and they give a Japanese set like one
last year. It was like a new set every 1.5 2 months. It was expensive. It was expensive.
It hurts the wallet, but I think
at the end of the day,
at the end of the day, we got caught up, so it's all good. But no, speaking of being caught up, Gundam. That's released simultaneously. From what I understand. So it's all going to be happening at the same time. So I think that's something that we're super hyped for. I think all of us have played Gundam.
That's a first in terms of global release, especially for a Bandai.
For a Bandai game,
So that'll be super interesting, and that's I think we've got demo events starting next week. So I think a couple of us are going to be heading down for a demo event. Most of us attended a pre-release, the beta box. So that was good. So that's definitely some content we're looking to bring to you guys as some Gundam matches because I think we're pretty hyped for it, pretty excited for it. But it is going to be the same meta up until July.
Shout out to the Combat Company, by the way, for helping us out getting a sealed case of the first booster box. We'll be opening that live, hopefully, once we get it sorted.
That should be a lot of fun. Hopefully hit some of the alt art. So I read some of there's like 47 alt arts.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot. I might be wrong, don't quote me, but I saw there's a lot. So we'll see what we get. That Wing Gundam
I mean,
alt
it's a
art
big
though.
set, because if you look at the number of the cards, it's a lot bigger than what One Piece has.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
but there's only 4 colors though. That's the crazy part.
That's crazy.
And we don't know what the fifth
cards
colour
on the
is.
4 colors.
Yeah.
And
Well,
yeah.
No, I was going to say I'm excited for the red color to come in because obviously, as you said, we've played with the 3 colors so far with what's kind of been offered, but we haven't really had a chance to have a crack at red, which from some of the cards they've shown looks pretty interesting, pretty strong, I think, in my opinion. But we'll see.
Breach damage as well. It's got a good mix because you compare it to, for example, the One Piece group release. We had all 4 colors that we knew of at the time at the start.
Yeah. Yep.
Then they released more colors, and I think that they'll follow a similar sort of suit with Gundam. It's Bandai typical. They'll have more colors as the set. Same with Digimon, right?
Same with Digimon released with the first 3, and then the next set, which was set the second half of 1.5, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think we got the other what was it purple? Yeah, not yellow. Yellow came out. It was purple, black.
Yeah.
Purple, black, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Gundam, for example, is white, blue, green at the moment. We're getting red.
The other Bandai games, which is Digimon and One Piece, are very similar in terms of the color schemes. Gundam is very different.
We don't have white yet for One Piece.
No.
Who knows?
I
Maybe.
don't think we will.
Oh, who knows?
Yeah,
Who
'cause we've got
knows?
6. There's a 6 color sphere, but I think they'll keep it to that to keep the game.
Is it like Digimon Nowhere? Because Digimon is a 6th color, or whatever the 7th color, I can't remember now, but white. But it's not really. It is its own color, but it's not really its own. They've got one deck, for example, for it, and then a bunch of other options or spells, whatever you want.
I know what you're talking about. No, we don't have that in One Piece. There's no.
They're all
all full-fledged
fully
colors.
fledged.
Yeah. So.
And we don't even know what the next color is for Gundam. I don't think it's been announced what the 5th color is.
Other than red,
we know red.
We just know 4 so far.
We know 4, so we don't know what the last one will be. I saw one rumor that was brown, and I went, "That's gonna who's gonna have brown's a weird color."
I strongly
weird
suspect
color.
maybe black, given that we have white.
Black, yeah.
I feel like they're just going to go through the same color wheel that they have with One Piece and Digimon. It
Yeah.
would be weird if they went off-brand, but who knows?
Yeah.
I think Gundam's going to be very different because most of the Bandai games I've seen so far, I think Battle Spirits, Digimon, One Piece, each of the colors have a theme to them, but Gundam's a bit different at the moment, so it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
The beta, if anything, the beta sort of eluded what the colors kind of do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, blue was the only color we saw repair.
Yeah.
Green was the only one we saw breach. White has
Lots of bounce effects.
bounce and blockers. You know, just thinking of cards here. Blue would be, you know, the only pot of greed card, the only draw 2. White had that filtering card, ever flowing affection. Green was only really breach. Oh, sorry, it has unblock. Oh no, ramp. You're right.
But also
Ramp.
high maneuver.
High maneuver,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
which
it could-
unblockable.
unblockable for any
Yeah.
Magic fans out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Red was the aggro type from the looks of it so far.
But red also has breach.
Yeah,
We've seen.
I reckon red green breach might be.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a crazy strong.
We're keen to see how
aggro
it
deck.
evolves because it's different from. You can't make general assumptions for it
Yeah.
because it's different from all the other Bandai games. It's going to be simultaneous, so it'll be good to. Everyone's going to be thinking the same thing.
Yeah, discovering it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think that's the other cool thing about it. We've got the minis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And for those who may not know, Gundam are releasing the Gundam trading card game, as well as a line called Gundam Assemble. And basically, you get a little sprue. It's like usually just one sheet, assemble it, and initially they'll be just for like using them as tokens within the TCG game, which is different. They haven't done really that sort of amalgamation before. They kept Battle Spirits. They had little gems and tokens.
So I think the Gundam side is more aesthetics until the.
Yeah.
It's more like a preview of what you're going to get when the Gundam Assemble comes
Yeah,
out.
like how cool it would be you slam down a card, you can put like your favorite Gundam on top, like your Wing Gundam, your Zaku,
Yeah.
whatever you want on top, just to say, hey, this is my big boss sort of thing, you know? But it also, not only is it a token, but it also gets its own full-fledged game at the start of next year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works out and what the game is going to be. I assume a kind of skirmish style game.
Yeah.
Probably similar to Kill Team from 40k. It'll be very interesting to I think see where that goes and I'll see how successful it'll be as well because I think it's their first time kind of has Bandai done a like board game with miniatures before? Or is this their first foray into that kind of like board game strategy game with miniatures?
Bandai Namco has? I'm not sure if it.
Yeah,
Is it the
because
same?
Bandai Namco is their main, I guess, pairing company, and obviously Bandai have the big Gunpla kits
Yes,
and mech kits and Zoids and that's Zoids Bandai?
Kotobukiya or
Kotobukiya.
Yeah, Zoids, no, not anymore, not Bandai.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how they tackle the miniatures sort of small form factor by comparison to their big boys.
I think it's an interesting kind of market move for Bandai to do that because I don't know if any of you kind of recently picked up on this yourselves, but I've seen a lot of like pure kind of Warhammer content creators kind of creating some Gundam-based content recently, like building Gundams themselves and talking about that.
Rogue Hobbies did that.
Yep.
She ended
That's
up.
because
Yep.
Warhammer did a not infringement, but
No,
they did a move where it tackled content creators.
yeah, there was a few years ago they had a bit where I think they kind of didn't go out for content creators, but I think they changed how they want content creators to use their IP. And so I think some content creators decided to kind of go to different areas.
Yeah.
Some kind of not left the GW sphere, but it's GW just protecting their IP, understandable. And I think they just kind of because they recently, I say recently, it's 2016 onwards was when they kind of went into the whole social media kind of thing. And so I think a few years ago they went into the whole, okay, so YouTube is obviously a big deal, it exposes the hobby to a lot of people, and I think they went, okay, we need to have more control in that area, which some of the community went, we're not a fan of this, because some productions shut down, so like TTS, I think they, TTS? Text to Speech, they did a Warhammer series, kind of funny, definitely worth a watch. I think he put that on pause because he went, I don't want to mess with that. So there was a bit of contention in the community when it happened at the time, but it's not as if people can't produce Warhammer content. But yes, I think other people are spreading out as well.
Yeah, I think it's more that's more like creative content, right? It's like using the IP in that way because I think like the guy who created Starties as well, which is another great kind of
Starties.
I think he ended up getting hired by GW to do some stuff for their official content.
Was crazy.
Yes, but through the hobby side of things, I think we see more people kind of go, oh well, I'm building my first Gunpla and like what that experience might be compared to building Warhammer specifically. So it'd be interesting to see with that kind of momentum and then this smaller kind of miniature game coming out around Gundam is going to kind of do to see that market. Now, I personally don't believe that anyone can really take too much of a lion's share away from Warhammer when you look at kind of war games specifically with miniatures.
Tabletop games for sure.
Tabletop games, but
so strong.
I do think with the kind of miniature kind of hobby, building and painting miniatures being very much aligned with the Gunpla hobby as building models and stuff. I think there's going to be quite either newer people who haven't really had a go at kind of tabletop war games, as you kind of call them. Maybe have a crack at the Gundam one, which would be pretty interesting.
Because I like the fact just from basic images that all of the models are just from one sprue. Yeah. Which simplifies the thing a lot. Don't get me wrong. I'm actually recently building Space Marines right now for a crusade that we're doing.
Yeah.
Gundam themed Space Marines.
Yeah, Gundam. Yeah.
Love it. I do find that sure I'm building it for a team of 5 units, but I just feel that there's a lot of pieces everywhere, and it's great in huge amount of detail, but that could be quite overwhelming for new people. I've been talking to you quite a fair bit about IDs and paint schemes and all sort of stuff.
Yeah, it is definitely very hard to get into.
Yeah,
yes,
it's intimidating. It's an intimidating process.
Yeah.
They've been trying to make it easier over time. Like I think a lot of the Games Workshop, I guess they're kind of trying to get people into the hobby is a huge thing for them. So they're trying to streamline it. So going down to your local stores, they have build your first mini for free, and they take you through the whole process. But there is a high barrier to entry getting in. But that's where I think a lot of people have started kind of getting into the hobby through things like Kill Team or Warcry or Necromunda, which are small skirmish games instead of the large battles, which is what Gundam's going into, which I'm imagining it's going to be a similar kind of skirmish level game.
All we've seen
Fewer
is
minis.
they've got hex-looking maps, and that's about it.
That's like the old Hex War games back in the day for those people of that generation.
It's pretty much like a miniaturized Gunpla, because the Gundam bases that you build for the model kits hex bases as well.
So just staying on brand then potentially.
Really? Yeah. There's like Hero Clicks and those kind of games.
Old school.
Hero Clicks was fun.
Yeah, old school. Well, I think this is probably a war game not many people know about, but my brother is obsessed with because he loves Godzilla. But it's Monster Apocalypse. I don't know if you remember. It's very similar kind of mech kaiju battles with hex based stuff. So I actually believe it will probably be something similar to that. I can imagine.
I think that gives both structure and freedom to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Because from the very few Warhammer games I've seen you guys play, you know, it's obviously a lot of rules, a lot of measuring of figuring out line of sight and all sort of stuff, and it can be quite intimidating. But if the hex, if this hex can see that hex, you know what
I mean, those skirmish games with like almost like a bring your own board situation where you have a specific thing with, you know, you can only move within these, you know, pieces of, you know, I guess hexes, whatever, more structured content. It's a lot more easier for someone to kind of put that on a kitchen table and be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to play this game, as opposed to like, okay, I need to get set of terrain or whatever 40k, and then I need a tape measure and all that kind of good stuff. So I think I don't think we'll ever see Gunpla kind of, or this Assemble game ever go past a skirmish game, because I think that would be crazy. They might do it, but I don't think they'd ever do it. And I don't think Gundam as an IP actually supports like a massive a war kind of element.
Difficult to say.
Yeah. I mean, the miniatures so far, I think more Q team based.
Yeah.
Just the scale of it is smaller and quicker. I assume they want to go for quicker games. Because I've seen the games these guys play.
They can go for a while. I mean, you know, competitive scene, you're looking at, you know, 2 hours 45, 3 hours generally per round.
Holy moly.
That's crazy.
Which people go, that's how do you do that? When you know your army, you know your rules.
Is that efficient, sorry?
That's going efficiently.
Yeah, that's
going efficiently.
That's very efficient.
And so that's kind of that's your competitive game, right?
Right.
Your more casual beer and pretzels game you're playing with your mates, that can go for 6 hours, 8 hours if you wanted to, if you're really taking it chill.
Yep.
Which is, I think, part of the fun of that 40k, that side of 40k is, hey, we organise a day with you and your friends, get some food over, some beer, play a whole day of 40k. It's a very chill environment. It's more that whole process. That session. Yeah, that's the fun of it, right? Rather than competitive scene is very much you've got to get through, you know, 3 rounds in a day, 3 hours a piece, with a lunch break. It can be kind of busy and a little bit stressful, and got to be very on time. And it's thankfully BCP, which is what they use to schedule it, works now. I think
best case pairings.
Best case pairings. Because back in 2020, I was at the LVO, so Las Vegas Open. I think it's the World Championships for 40k. Not that I'm very good. I came like bottom half out of 1,000 people, so I'm not good. But BCP crashed so bad. I think I ended up starting the round 3 started like an hour after when round 3 should have ended.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're sat there playing 40k till, you know, midnight in Vegas, which to be fair, everyone's up at midnight in Vegas anyway. But you're supposed to have ended at 7 o'clock to then go out, and instead people were still playing their games. Yeah. So
that's dedication. That's dedication to the cause, that is. And I mean, I think at LVO people would all be pretty dedicated. To love the hobby there. But yeah, I mean, I think based off what we were just talking about, 40k is probably another arm to what we were looking at and what we're doing. And I think Chesson mentioned the Crusade, you know, a little Crusade, I don't know what you call it, adventure or campaign?
Yeah, campaign. So for those who don't know, Crusade is almost like a more narrative style, ongoing series of games you play with an overarching story. So I think
reminds you of D&D.
Almost like D&D. So I'm going to be I'm the campaign master or the dungeon master. So basically, we'll be coming up. There's going to be 6 of us playing, split between there's 3, I guess, like not factions, but 3 alliances. And so you basically got your defenders, your attackers, and your marauders. Roughly based, for those who know 40k, Imperium, Chaos, and Xenos is kind of roughly how that's based. And then there'll be an overarching story. So we'll be pairing up games. I think every month we're going to make sure we book a time in every month. Everyone has a game. I'll make sure everyone's paired up to play each other. And then we basically build the story on from there. And there is an overarching story at the moment, which is attacking a planet that's kind of already written for us. The Nakman Gauntlet is the name of the campaign book. But we'll probably keep you guys updated on that as well. Definitely. So probably won't show you the games at the moment, but we'll kind of go through the story, what's happened, any fun bits, any cool bits that happened. Just kind of, as with this channel supposed to be, it's just all things kind of hobby and just taking along our journey of leveling up everyone's hobbies at the time. And that's kind of where we're at for this.
For sure. Might see some pickies of Chesson's Zaku based Space Marine.
Oh, we're going to get those out at some stage.
That'd be pretty cool.
At some point.
Yeah.
There's some spicy stuff.
Gotta do them justice first. But anyway, thank you all for watching. It's been great having a chat with you for the first time. We'll see you all in the near future.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. See you later, everyone.